Welcome to Eatin' in the Kitchen, everyone. We have RPI, and they're going to be presenting a couple different line series that they have, Vienna and Regal. If you're not familiar with RPI, they have a few different things that they are in the market for holding cabinets, as well as bakery display cases, refrigerated air curtain cases, kind of grab-and-go style. They also have a modular and custom serving line. So kind of have a little bit of everything. Today, like I said, going over Regal and Vienna series. We've got PJ and Ken on the line. PJ is the president and CEO, and Ken is the director of sales. So I will let you guys take it over.
Excellent. Good afternoon, everybody. So thanks for joining us. RPI Industries Vienna series. This is predominantly going to be more geared towards Vienna series as opposed to Regal. And what's the difference? The Vienna series is brand that is built for us in Austria to our specifications. So anytime you see Vienna series, again, it's produced and manufactured in Austria. And we may do some fit and finishing here in the US, or just bring the cases in complete from Austria. If you've ever worked with any cases that are built for the European market, one of the challenges with cases built in Europe is most of them are not designed specifically for the US, namely for our Board of Health and the NSF 7 standard. Also, the cases for the European market have a tendency to be built more for a culture that respects the equipment. So it's not necessarily built to have the level of abuse that we give the cases here in the US market. So that being said, the cases are built to an NSF 7 standard, and they're also built with beefed up hardware to make the cases as strong as we possibly can for the US. But it's basically a box of glass. It's refrigerated or cold display, which is non-self-serve, and then also self-serve models, as well as heated versions, and they could be self-serve or non-self-serve. And then also the series for self-contained. You can get them remote or self-contained. And self-contained models are all designed for rear breathe. If you notice the front of the counter here, this is a project that we did at LAX Airport. There's no need for a louver in the front for air breathing for a grill. Most architects, designers, most end users really find those front grills a little not that attractive. So again, designed for rear breathe. The standard models come in either a squared glass, slanted glass, or curved. The actual deck of the unit is designed that it can accommodate, it's 6 inches deep, so it can actually accommodate a hotel pan. And those same pans can actually be on a slanted presentation down in the base. There's 2-pan, 3-pan, 4-pan, 5-pan. This is all based on hotel pan sizes, and as you see, the actual lengths of the cases. And then in 3 heights, 21 1/4, 28, and 34 5/8. That's from the counter up. So you'll see all, and then we have the spec sheets on all these units. You can check, it's all in auto quote. Most of this is in KCL as well as Revit. Also available with flip-up doors. The unit that you're seeing in the top left picture, they're designed as a wall style. So you see the front, you can, again, I just said earlier that you would have non-louvers for a unit for a front counter. Well, for a back counter like this, you would need somehow for this to breathe. So you would have to go with louvers for a wall style self-contained. But the doors are designed for, they're spring assisted. So when you open the door and then let go, the door doesn't just come slamming back down. It's a very gradual, slow closing door. It's a great self-select option, which allows for non-wrapped foods, knowing if you have a potential adverse condition. What am I referring to? Most cases, they're designed for 75 ambient, 55 relative humidity. And you have conditions specifically in the Southeast where that may not necessarily be a constant environment in the location. So as an option, the flip doors, and if you notice here on the section, it actually shows that there's an axial fan in the rear, and there's an air duct that is helping and throwing an air sweep down over the flip up doors. So again, good for self-serve, not having to wrap the product, and knowing that if you may have a condition that may not be ideal, it's going to keep the case at optimal temperature. The challenge with grab-and-go air screens with outdoors, once you get above 75, 55, or even 80 ambient, 60 relative humidity, the challenges help them being able to hold temperature. So the advantage, the way the units are built, if you notice the top, you're seeing a whole solid base. Well, and then there's a lip around the edge or flange. So that unit is designed that you can have that sit right on the countertop where you can add a leg to it or caster, which would allow the unit not to necessarily sit with the weight on the counter. So you can give the illusion or the appearance that it's a drop-in style where it in fact is a slide-in style. And then again, the options caster leg predicated upon what you foresee you may need. Additional, removable stainless evaporator cover with hemmed edges to contain spills. So that whole bottom pan can be cleaned and pulled out. It is hemmed to contain a spill. Biggest challenge with any cold display case is if there's any sort of dairy product, a carton of milk that leaks, and if that dairy or that milk product gets down inside the coil, it can really give quite a bad odor to the unit. So it does contain it, and you'll be easy to clean up the spill. And then the removable deck pans for easy cleaning. Those deck pans is what I mentioned that go above that hemmed edged evaporator cover. And those pans can then be angled if you wanted to make the presentation sloped towards the customer. All the units are set with adjustable glass shells with lights. The fourth picture down, as you see, that's all the units are standard with this. It's a lift-up evaporator coil designed for easy cleaning. That coil is on a piston that can lift up easily, lock in place, and get in and clean that entire area. So you can inspect the coil, but then also clean out the interior. Optional rear cutting board for the units. Vienna air pans. So cold display, cold wall, challenge with cold wall with salad bars specifically is that any cold wall construction, you need to drop the product 3 inches down inside the well to maintain the NSF 7 certification. With the 3-inch down inside a static wall, you're not getting a good visual of the product. So with an air over, if you see the slot in the back, it's about 1.5 inches. It's as close as you're going to be able to get to the top of that counter for presentation. And then also manufacture these in a sloped version for better visual and a whole bunch of different sizes are available. We're kind of tight on time, so I'm not going to spend the time going through all the sizes. Again, if you go on our website, you'll see all the specification sheets for these units. And then also the air over pan design for platters. The back plenum is open air grill, allowing that air to come over to accommodate platters as opposed to hotel pans. If you see just the small slot at the top, it really isn't enough air for platters. That's strictly designed for hotel pans. So we made a change in our design at NAFM 19, which now this is the standard. So it could be used for hotel pans or it could be used for display platters. Sorry about that. And then they're also available in radius curved, as you see how that air pan would fall. You have an air tower. They also have models available with the air tower, so that back is a little bit higher, as you see, for better airflow. Give you an opportunity to put higher product on the unit. So you can use these for self-serve and also incorporate these in for a cold display. As I mentioned, this is a project that we did for the Plaza Hotel in Manhattan, where they took the curved radius units and incorporated them into a really cool looking diameter counter. Keep in mind, with curve, it's a standard radius that's available. We have been asked, can you do custom radiuses? You can, however, you can't curve a coil. So just keep in mind, if you have anything that you say, well, I'm looking for a different radius, we're going to go back and make sure that we're going to be able to get the coil that's segmented in to make sure that there's proper cold through all those wells. But it is a potential option if someone's looking for a customized radius. Also available in switch, convertible, hot and cold. So it's the same air over design. And if you notice here, it says black blast, that there's a switch on there that then would heat, turn the cold off, initiate the black heated glass. In the hot version, or this unit, what's not being shown in the picture is you would need an overhead heat lamp to work as well. The black glass is hot, but it's not enough for the top heat as well. Vienna Select Series, different cold display, also available with hot modules as well as dry modules. But unique feature, the rear of the unit has a cold wall pan built into it with a slide out cutting board. So in the event that there is pre-made sandwiches, however, if someone wanted to have custom made sandwiches or condiments or garnish, that they could in fact utilize this cold wall section for finishing the product in lieu of having a separate sandwich prep unit that would be a separate piece of equipment and possibly on the rear behind this display case. So keeps it a little bit more of a labor saver, keeps it all contained. From a sizing, if you see, you can get that slide out rear cold wall sandwich prep, or as you see here, you don't have to have it that way. It could just be with a cutting board. The units are available as refrigerated cold and then also convertible switch, hot or cold. Vienna Pro Series. The Vienna Pro Series are modulars that are either hot, cold grab and go, or ambient, where these are pre-engineered modules that we at RPI bring these in semi-built, and then we finish them here in New Jersey. So what's that mean? We are able to get the lead times much shorter. As a matter of fact, most of this is on a quick track where we can ship this in 10 to 15 days. That would be in a standard stainless steel exterior, not in any of those RAL colors. That would be an added lead time. But if you notice how the units go together, you have in the top picture, there's a hot case, then there's a cold case, and then there's a cold grab and go. These center pieces of glass are common. So you now have these three cases together with common mullions of glass in the middle. To avoid having two cases of glass side by side, which can run the risk of debris and dirt getting down inside here, which is almost impossible to clean, this would have a common middle. So on the cold, it's a double pane. On the hot, which one of the questions that were asked, well, wait a minute, how do you do that with a hot case next to a cold case? This now in here is a triple piece of glass to accommodate for thermal break because you have hot next to cold. And then some just different pictures of various cases that we've put in. This picture here in the middle with the white marble that you see, that's actually one of the first Hiltons that we did in Midtown New York when they came up with their original cafe concept. And to the far right, La Cucina, which is part of the Patina Group in New York, where they have several of these throughout the city, and we've done quite a bit of work with them as well. Meat displays, the cases are designed to accommodate meat, which is typically going to be a little bit colder than the 38 to 41 degree. They're not aging cases. It's strictly for meat display, not for aging. We do not get involved with an aging case. Fantastic. So this all came about actually from an opportunity with McDonald's with the McCafe concept in Europe, where they were looking for shelf life of product to be longer. And what they were shooting for was to see if they could maintain product freshness for at least one day for their cakes. So Austria, they designed a case which actually has a different unique coil system where it has variable speeds to the fans, which it actually enables this to create a higher natural humidity levels for the preservation of the product. What's this all mean? You're doubling your shelf life. So if you would be typically capable of getting 6 to 8 hours of product, you're now able to get twice that amount with this coil design. One of the issues comes up about the rear doors, as you see, if someone's really looking for the longest shelf life and the fantastic coil, which is a great option, we would also encourage you to think about changing the rear doors so that, as you see, the doors are just half doors, and as you open the door, that shelf would slide out. Why the half doors? Lower, smaller cavity open so that you don't evacuate the refrigeration inside the case. A little bit better stability. Harrah's Casino, Las Vegas, just to give you a visual, the front of that, what you're seeing are the Vienna air over pans that I just showed on that slant. And then on the rear wall are the Regal built banded air screens. So they create a really nice salad a la carte station with a rear greens wall. Commonly, that's how we hear it called. Is that we're looking for a greens wall, and it's really a standard refrigerate air screen unit. We don't do anything different to it except change the way the shelves are into the unit. So again, you can get a rear sections, as you see, for fruit, vegetables, lettuce, and then front fixings for all the various items that would be going in for making a really overall good salad station. If you notice on the far right, you're seeing the lettuce bowls already prepared. That's operator choice. If they want to put together the spinach bowls, iceberg lettuce, Boston bib, whatever that they decide they want to set. And then typically what they do is they buy that bowl, or they order that salad, they get that, they bring it over, open it up, and then put whatever toppings and dressings that they want in there. The next generation. So the glass, as you see here, and these are photos actually from Euroshop, which was in February in Germany, which is the NAFEM of Europe. The next generation is frameless insulated glass. If you notice some of the pictures I showed, you see this black screen around the edge of the glass. That's common with insulated glass, that there's a silk screen on the glass because you have two pieces of glass together and you have a sandwich effect and with insulation. So to camouflage all that, they put a silk screen on the glass. The next generation is to get away from that and just have frameless insulated glass, so you won't see that color. And these are the prototypes. This will be here in the US. Our goal was to have it by July. Unfortunately, with everything going on with the pandemic, I can't tell you for sure if that's going to happen by July or it's going to leak to the latter part of the summer. But just to give you a heads up that the next generation is with this frameless glass. The unique ability, because there is another company in the US that offers a frameless glass, but style without the color, as I just mentioned, but the glass doesn't tilt or lift. You can't get in to clean it. That is fixed glass. This is designed so you can lift up the top glass and tilt out the front. Get a better visual. So, and again, as I mentioned when I said about the Vienna Pro series, that is designed so that you would have one common piece of glass in the middle if you were joining cases together. The same holds true with this new frameless glass. So if you had two cases side by side or three cases side by side, you would not have glass to glass. We would have these built so that this is a common middle divider. What you're seeing in the picture, and this is the next generation of what technology is going to offer, and that is these are electronic shelf labels that would be tied into a computer. They're small illuminated screens that you could tie in and change the pricing or show specials, whatever you would like. That would be available. It's an option. It's not going to be standard on the cases, but I just wanted to let you see what's the latest and greatest and what's coming out of Europe. So thank you. I wanted to keep this to give about 5 minutes before our 30 minutes is up to see if there's any questions that we can address. Anyone?
Let me see if we have any questions here. I don't see any. Oh, wait, I got one with a raised hand.
I think that's Brooke just saying hi.
Oh.
Oh, they're all muted, right?
Let me unmute her. Oh. Hey, Brooke.
Yes. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Oh, Bob has a question. He asked, on the hot cold, can it be sloped? I'm guessing sloped, not slopped pans.
Say that one more time.
On the hot cold, can it be sloped pans?
On the cold, you could put an adapter yes. It would be with an adapter that would go above, but the answer is yes.
Great question, Bob. Anyone else? Does anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns? Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, PJ and Ken, for the information. We certainly appreciate it. And I hope that everyone can tune in tomorrow. We have South Bend that will be presenting, and also next Thursday, April 23rd, Ken and PJ will be back presenting Ondo, which is temperature controlled cubicles for kind of like Uber Eats and that side of the industry. So if everyone can join tomorrow and hopefully Thursday next week, we'll do it every day and look forward to seeing you guys.
All good. Thank you, PJ.
All right. Hey, everybody, stay safe. Thank you so much for your time, and we're here for you when you need us, okay?